Yes! So this is Bleach. Thank you, Tight Combo. Thank you. And to all of the staff, this is Bleach. And I can't be happier, but I'm also mad that we have to wait right now. That cliffhanger is insane, but everything that we got here, the extra scenes, the build up, the reveals, Senjumaru, my wife. Oof. I'm so happy. I was grinning the entire episodes here. Oof, 2 episodes back to back. The first one is a bit of a build up episode, but even there's some great scenes. And then the last episode with everything that I'm so happy. Oh, Bleach greatness is more than back. And also got confirmation we're gonna get more. And yeah, please give me more Bleach. Please. In 2024. But yeah, after this anyway, enough me hyping and losing my mind here. Let's get into the episodes and see what happened. Now, what I really liked in this episode, honestly, my favorite thing, of course, all of the action and everything, kinda has to go to Hiyori, what she said when she met up with Urahara, asking him, did you send Ichigo and Yoruichi to die for your precious Serete? Which I really like that quite a lot, coming from Hiyori, and she got a bit more serious, and Urahara not really giving an answer. That just shows how far and how many things they're willing to sacrifice for the Serete. Of course, Urahara is Urahara. We're gonna see later on some things, but Hiyori was awesome in this episode. And then we have Yoruichi's brother's sister, yes, coming in, wanting to see Yoruichi, but she's long gone there. Missed it. But if you know, you know. Anyway, I'm curious what people are gonna think about that. The main parts of the episode were the fights being set up throughout everything. Yuha versus Ichibe, and just the arrogance that Ichibe has is insane, and the portrayal, the changes in his faces, I love it so much, in his tonality there on facing Yuha, and him just drawing those lines, I'm gonna beat you just in that space, and keeping his words, pushing him there, and the way his power works is so awesome. Of course, there's a bit of the power that is not revealed yet. We have at least 2 big things, well, actually 3 big things that haven't been revealed, related to the Soul King, Ichibe, and Yuha, but hey, those are spoilers ahead. If you know, you know. The way his Giga hand slap there with Yuha and taking his voice was so nicely done there. But Yuha still being him, even stabs his own neck to get his voice back, and stabbing himself again with the arrows to stop his momentum from the slaps. And even Ichibe after that getting a bit more serious. So that was a bit of the setup for the fight, which I really like. Ichibe is kind of like that absolute justice in a way, like we got in One Piece with Akainu in a way. Is it justifiable if you think you're right? That self-righteousness to Ichibe, and the arrogance, and also the power to back up that arrogance. Kinda, I really liked what they did with the flashback with Yuha and the conversation between them at the table last episode. This just fixes so many things with Bleach and improves a lot of things, and makes you think, is Yuha right, at least in a way, with wanting to save the world from death? And are the Shinigami also kinda villains if you look at it from Yuha perspective? I'm really curious how everything is gonna be moving forward into the future, but we're gonna talk more about that in the next few course when we get them. But here we have some other fights being set up. Oetsu has a bit of a confrontation with Hajwalt and Uryu there, the life cage starting to break down from Kiryu, but she starts healing it. Tenjiro also joins the fight with Senjumaru. They go after Uryu, Tenjiro versus Hashwald. But here, I'm so happy the Royal Guard gets so much justice done to them. Thank you for this. Compared to what happened in the manga, here they get a lot more screen time and justice to them. Even the fight Oetsu versus Askin. Now, Askin has probably one of the most dangerous abilities in Bleach, and it's kind of weird to understand how it works in his fight with Oetsu. The death dealing being his ability. He can manipulate the lethal doses of something. Like, he doesn't add things into your body. He can manipulate the lethal dosage of your blood. Like 6 liter is your normal lethal dose if you have in your body, right? And if he lowers it to 2 liters, you have more blood in your body that is actually killing you. But also, if you remove that blood, it's also very dangerous, because based on your weight, height, and everything along those lines, you can also die from blood loss, which is a very dangerous ability to have. I hope that makes sense. I also hope I understand it properly, because Oetsu is in very much danger here. But after that, we also have the fight Uryu versus Senjumaru, and Senjumaru just gets so much in these 2 episodes, it's insane. But before we get to that, Tenjiro versus Hashwalt and the cat there. Now, those are still being set up and moving back and forth, but the main fight here was Oetsu versus Askin. And Oetsu finds a way to counteract a bit of Askin's power, cutting himself to bleed out, to be able to move, because his dosage was changed, his lethal dosage of blood. So now he was losing blood, counteracting that limit dosage that was changed by Askin, but he was also in danger from dying from blood loss. That's why Askin's power is so dangerous. But thanks to Tenjiro showing up and healing him there, and Oetsu is so awesome, his personality, I love it so much. I'm recovered, and he's back to his happy self there. So that's gonna be interesting also. But we get a bit back throughout the episode to Ichibe versus Yuha, and Ichibe's power, like I said, is insane what we have with it. His power, how it works, he can cut names, and he cuts Yuha arms in half. So from arm they are AR, so the strength is also cut in half, and even slashes him, cutting his power in half. He just wanted, hey, I'm gonna give you some honor here to your Quincy, so they think you lost because you're just in half power. But also, well, there's so many things happening. Also have Giselle, and I can't wait for Giselle to get what's coming to him. I wanted to kill him there on the spot when he was eating Bambi's blood, or recovering his own blood back, and Bambi was like, don't take all of it, I don't want to die. Just, yes, Bambi is a villain, but that made me like Bambi so much, made me feel sorry for Bambi there, and this is great to have that, and just showing how much of a fuck up Giselle is, in a good and bad way, as in it's a great character, but great character to hate, and start slamming and bashing Bambi's head in, killing her, and you're so cute when you're dead. Yes, very sane person there from if you're a Giselle fan. Besides the meme, I get the meme, Giselle is great with the meme, but if you're a genuine Giselle fan, I question you. Let me know if you're an actual Giselle fan in the comments there. But this episode was also to showcase how broken Yuha is, at least some of his powers, because he finally unleashes Auswallen. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, the huge AoE, and starts stealing the powers from Quincy back, or redistributing them in a way, because how this power works, even we have Lil Toto being mad, Busby also being mad, didn't know that Yuha was gonna do that. They feel betrayed a bit, that's gonna be interesting a bit later on, and even Kyoraku starting to be on the move. Now Ashwallen even starts destroying the cage and starts resurrecting some of the royal guard of the Quincy that were defeated. Lil Barrow, Gerard, Pernida, they come back there. Askin also comes back, being there a bit in the other episode. But also what's interesting, being set up for the future, It hasn't been shown in the anime, at least a scene here only. We have Kyoraku and Ukitake, and talking about if it's gonna be possible to fix the buildings there, but the important thing was the shadow behind Ukitake, calling it Kamikake, saying it's ready. Now, if you know what that is, it's gonna be later on. I'm not gonna touch any spoilers here for that. We're gonna have to wait for the next score, but it's also related to Ukitake and his condition, which I hope they're gonna do justice in the flashback. So this was pretty much the first episode, the setup here, and then we move straight into the next episode with Yuhabak and the other Stone Ritters coming back powered up, and Yuhabak having that great speech: everything in this world is mine, you can't take anything from me, and I can take everything from this world. I'm paraphrasing a bit, and we see a bit of the Soul King just being a lump of body, which is gonna be interesting. Keep that in mind later on as to what exactly the Soul King and how it ended up being that way. But then we have the actual fights finally happening in this episode. It's just full-blown action and so many extra scenes, new scenes. It's insane. Uezu instantly getting his shoulder exploded by Lila Barrow, piercing it with his power X axis. It's an actual axis, keep that in mind. It's not like a shot. Everything between his gun and what he chooses, it gets pierced there. Pure penetration. But here in this episode, the Royal Guard gets so much justice. They come in, they heal Uezu, and we have Royal Guard versus Royal Guard being set up, Senjumaru versus Gerard, Kiryu versus Pernida, Tenjiro versus Askin, swapping a bit, and Lilabaro versus Uezu. But before we get to those fights, we have Ichibe saying in here that he wanted to give some honor to Yuhabak to defeat him and half power. That I said also, and Ichibe, just this guy, it's hard to say who's the actual villain in this episode by how Ichibe is acting here, which I love it. Ichibe is such a great character, just showing that the Soul Society are not only the good guys, like they're good, but they're that absolute good, just the greater good justifies anything and everything they're gonna do here, and which is why Bleach is great. But Ichibe kind of personifies that even more, how Soul Society is in itself. And we have Ichibe actually grabbing Yuhabak, and even there Yuhabak tried to send Blood Ven through him, but no, it's not gonna work. Ichibe's power is also very broken here, because he actually sends back the Blood Ven, which I can't say how exactly he did that. It's gonna be a bit revealed later on. Not gonna go in spoilers with that. If you know, you know. So then we have the actual fight starting even more with Ichibe unleashing a bit of his powers with Ichimonji painted black, with that sword of his kind of looking more like a brush than a sword, and more like a sword than a brush, but back and forth. Even Yuhabak was a bit confused, which I really liked, because his power is very deceptively strong. Like we have been used throughout Bleach, hey, everybody has a power. It either cuts, it penetrates, it punches, it does damage directly in a way with all of the powers. But Ichibe is very different, because his ink is very dangerous. You don't even realize, you think, hey, it's just ink, what is that supposed to do? Even Yuhabak did the same thing, but everything that ink touches loses its name, and things without names don't have any power. But before we get into the Ichibe thing, we also have Gerard, which Gerard is gonna be important later on in the next course, with spoilers, with how even Senjumaru realizing he can't kill him with his heart. I'm not gonna say why. Then also on the other side, Pernida, for the same reasons, versus Kiryu is gonna be harder to defeat there. So yeah, those are still some fights that are gonna be very important, revealed later on. That's why this ends on some very huge cliffhangers. I can't wait for more. But then we have Askin versus Tanjiro, with Tanjiro having a bit a better matchup against Askin, how their powers work there. Lilobaro versus Oetsu, which Oetsu kind of assumes something and he tries to block Lilobaros by preventing him from shooting in the same direction as Yuha. But the way that Axis power works is a bit different. I think Oetsu didn't understand how exactly that power works there, and Lilobaro shoots him and he doesn't get to Yuha because it's an Axis, not an actual shot, if you get what I'm saying. But here we have the main fight happening a bit between Yuha and Ichibe, with Yuha trying to steal Ichibe's power, but yeah, Ichibe is just, this guy is so broken, he's not even funny, and I can't wait to see how everybody's going to react to him. If you're anime only, I'm curious what you think so far of Ichibe, his powers, and also his personality. Let me know in the comments below. But before the main fight, we have the Royal Guard kind of losing here, the Squad Zero losing, but they're not totally out, because they start cutting themselves, at least all of them besides Senjumaru, telling her, hey, you're gonna be the one that kills them. And these are the extra scenes, well, the main extra scene that we get here with Senjumaru. And I really liked how they set it up here, saying, our power shakes the world. We have an oath. We have linked our powers with our lives and with the sacrifices they have there. Whew. I was losing my mind when I saw this. I was like, yes, yes. I was so happy, because then Senjumaru just steals the show, would be an understatement what she did here. She releases her bankai, and we haven't seen her bankai, and all of the world starts shaking at that, just showing how powerful the Squad Zero actually is, the Royal Guard. The way that I kind of made a theater of all of them, showing like their fates in a way, you know, the Greek mythology, how the fates sewn your fate there, the threads of fate. She just takes over everything, those reflections. Lilo starts shooting himself, Askin being pierced by that Iron Maiden cloth there, Pernida pitfalling in a sand of abyss, Gerard being frozen still, Hashwal being burned. Uryu, I think it stole his life in a way. I don't exactly caught what to Uryu. I need to rewatch the scene. Let me know in the comments below with Uryu, and here saying, this is the show for you, and just the curtain goes down. Holy shit, Senjumaru, that's so awesome. Probably one of the best bankai reveals and reveals period that we have gotten in Bleach, and this is thank you. thank you. That was just insane with Senjumaru. I love it so much. And oh, we also have still the last scene with Ichibe showing to Yuha, no, you can't steal my power, because my power is black, all of the black in the world, and even gives him the name of Black Ant with the ink there. He can name things that are cut by his sword, and right now Yuha power is an actual ant, and revealing that his Zanpakuto was the first one that evolved. Even before there were bankais, his was the first one, and starts crushing him like with that huge leg and even the palms there. And after that, cliffhanger. No, no. Why did it have to end like this? But thankfully, it was announced we're getting more in 2024, probably the same way around summer or somewhere like that. And Bleach anime is gonna be the definitive edition of the Bleach story. the manga, while it's great, this is fixing and improving so many things. It's insane, and I'm here for it. Bleach, greatness. So yes, yes, and yes again. Thank you. Now, I'm curious what you guys thought about everything that happened right now with Bleach, the differences between the manga, the anime, everything. If you're either a manga reader or anime only, let me know in the comments below, and I hope more people give Bleach a chance. I'm gonna be so jealous of people that are just getting right now into Bleach and having the anime only, and then not having to wait 10 years. Oh, you're in for greatness. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Bleach. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Make sure to check out the podcast Because Anime. So bye bye.